Hello, Basement Movie Room. We're back again. Kurt Russell month has begun, although it's going to be like Kurt Russell 2 months because May, we kind of got started late. May 7th is when we're recording this. First video will probably be out on May 14th, so we're definitely going to go into June because we're going to try to review a ton of Kurt Russell movies, as many as we can possibly get in. But first off is Bone Tomahawk, which is a newer Kurt Russell movie. I believe this is a 2017 film. Directed by S. Craig Zahler, who has made a few movies. He's made Brawl in Subway 99. He made Dragged Across Concrete, which I wasn't huge on, but I enjoyed. But this one, I think, is Craig Zahler's best film. This is the first time you've seen it. I had already seen it, but I had been telling you that you need to watch this movie, and Kurt Russell's fantastic in it. So I'm not going to spoil this movie, because I think it deserves to be watched, but I am going to go through a short plot description here, as usual. So essentially what happens in this movie is at the opening you get a couple of guys, a couple of ne'er-do-wells that are robbing a group of people, killing and robbing. This is a brutal film. Don't go into this expecting something happy-go-lucky. This is brutal. Sid Haig plays one of them, David Arquette's the other guy. So they're robbing some people and then they start running away they hear horses and they start running away and they end up getting attacked by something. They are in a burial ground. And they get attacked by something. Sid Haig gets killed in it. David Arquette runs, ends up in the town of Bright Hope. Bright Hope, the sheriff is Kurt Russell's character, which I can't remember his name right now, to be honest. But he's the sheriff, and then there's some other people we're introduced to. There's Matthew Fox's character, which is Bruder.
Yeah.
Mr. Bruder. Then you're introduced to Patrick Wilson's character and his wife, who are the O'Dwyers. Patrick O'Dwyer and his wife, something O'Dwyer, I don't remember. And then you're introduced to Chicory, who is Richard Jenkins' character, who is
so good.
I feel he's a deputy, but I feel like he's a deputy just because the sheriff felt bad for him and wanted to give him something to do.
Substitute deputy.
Yeah,
right.
And so, yeah.
Isn't that the title?
Secondary deputy or something like backup deputy. That's it, backup deputy. So sheriff has a actual deputy, and then he has Chicory as his backup deputy. And you're introduced to a few more characters. Sean Young plays a very small role in this as the mayor's wife, who's really the power behind the mayor. And then you have Patrick Wilson plays O'Dwyer. I don't know if I mentioned that. So essentially, what happens is David Arquette wanders in town. After this happens, Chicory sees him burying a bag, and the sheriff goes to investigate and talk to David Arquette's character, who says his name is Buddy, essentially. And so at that point, the sheriff shoots Buddy because he's kind of a half-cop kind of guy. And O'Dwyer's wife, Miss O'Dwyer, comes to help David Arquette's character by getting the bullet out. It's like she's a nurse. The doctor's in his cups, as they say. He's drunk, so he can't help. Well, Matthew Fox's character, Bruder, goes to get the nurse. She brings her to there, and after that, he leaves. And come to find out overnight, these people who had killed Sid Haig's character came in and kidnapped the deputy, the other deputy, Miss O'Dwyer, and David Arquette's character. So the sheriff, Bruder, Patrick Wilson's character, Mr. O'Dwyer, Arthur O'Dwyer, and Chicory set out to find O'Dwyer's wife and, of course, the deputy, of course. They're not really worried about Buddy, not too much concern for him, but they're going out to find him. So they start making this trek across the desert to try to find who kidnapped these people, but they also talk to this local Native American professor there, and he indicates that these people are troglodytes, they're cannibals, they're terrible people. He won't go with them because he's scared of them.
Yeah.
But the others, Matthew Fox's character is a famous Indian hunter, I guess is what you would call him. He killed a lot of Native Americans in his adventures, and it comes up a couple of times how many he killed. He ultimately does reveal that number to Chicory, but it's later in the movie. I don't want to spoil much else for the movie, so I don't want to go into much more plot, because I think this movie needs to be watched to understand.
Definitely.
Just know it's brutal.
Yeah.
You got to be prepared to watch this. I don't even think you were prepared that much.
I
told you.
The first scene.
The first scene
was like,
in the movie is brutal. You know going in.
Yeah, it was
this is brutal.
Very realistic. Right.
So just know going in that this is going to be a brutal movie to watch. You're not going to. You can't go in this with a weak stomach. It's certainly going to be much worse than you believe it's going to be, because Craig Zahler does not pull punches.
And when the stuff happens, you're just kind of in awe. Like,
Yeah.
am I really watching?
The violence
what's
is
happening?
the violence is significant.
Yeah.
In
It's
this
like
movie.
you brought up Tarantino.
Yeah.
How things just
Yeah.
happen so quick, and it's like,
So-
oh my god,
It's realistic.
and then you're just sucked into it.
It's realistic.
exactly how this
It's
was.
violent. It does not pull punches.
No.
You go through the movie, and Patrick Wilson's character also has an injury throughout the movie where he had fallen off a roof and broken his leg, compound fracture. So that comes into play. Excuse me. So you're going through the movie like worried about Patrick Wilson's character not being able to make it.
He really does make it seem like he does a great job
Yeah.
of making it seem like he is hurt. Great actor.
He is no doubt
Great actor.
good at this.
Yeah.
Yeah. And funny, there's comedy. There's
Oh, the
some
comedy's
really
great. Yeah,
comedic stuff in
Yeah,
here.
we were laughing.
Yeah, I mean,
some good laughs. Some of the lines.
yeah. Oh, Kurt Russell
Nice.
just has the
Yeah.
best lines.
Bring up horses one more time, or I'll slap you red.
Yeah, I'll slap you red. Remove yourself.
Remove yourself.
And there was one more. I can't.
Something
remember.
about closing his aperture. Or something.
Yeah, close your aperture when he's telling somebody to shut up or
So
shut your
really,
aperture.
really good.
Just so good. Good
Oh.
stuff. Yeah.
The characters in this were amazing.
Fantastic. Great
I-
cast.
I cared about every character.
So yeah, the characters were great. The cast was great. Everybody in the cast was great.
Yeah.
Craig Zoller had a couple of his regulars in here.
Yeah.
I told you the bartender in the movie was a regular.
Regular.
Yeah, he's
Cared
in
about
all of his movies.
every one of these characters you cared about, except for
Yeah.
the deputy. He was
Yeah.
kind of throwaway.
The deputy was a throwaway character.
Yeah.
Nobody cared, but his death
He
really
was-
made up for that.
Yeah, he was
Yeah.
really kind of just there.
Yeah.
So, but all the other characters, it really you were really on edge. Like,
Yeah. Oh, no doubt.
You know.
No doubt. Definitely on edge.
But yeah, great,
Yeah.
great movie.
Yeah. The score, I think we talked about that a little bit
the
as
score
well.
was perfect. Yeah, it was just a sad, just
Yeah.
tone, that sad Western tone throughout. the
Yeah.
whole
Always
movie.
made you feel kind of a sense of
Yeah.
dread.
Yeah, whenever they left the town,
Yeah.
it's like, oh gosh.
Yeah. It was a dread.
Yeah, the way that the score played, it was like they're not coming back,
Yeah.
but we're not going to spoil it.
Yeah. And the antagonist, I'm not going to spoil who they are, but they're just the worst thing you can think of, to be
Yeah.
honest. They're terrible. Just absolutely terrible. Patrick Wilson does something in the movie that is just absolutely like, ooh,
Oh,
I don't want to see that, you know?
Yeah, gag
So,
reflex
yeah.
came into play.
Yeah, but movie is brutal. Movie is really good though.
So
I mean, really good. Really well worth watching for sure. And like I said, I don't want to spoil, so I'm not going to talk a lot about it. But yeah, you should watch this movie, especially if you have a strong stomach. To be honest, because it's going to get brutal at times. It's going to get nasty at times. But yeah, I mean, just a super engaging movie ultimately. Because I don't want to spoil anything. I don't really have much else to say. I'm not going to go rating at this point. I'll rate first this time. I know I make you do it a lot. I'm giving this a 4.5 because I think it well deserves that. It's brutal, but it keeps your interest. It's a freaking great movie in my opinion.
Same here.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was at 4.5 as well.
Yeah,
Again, here we go.
Yeah.
Same score.
We're tying up a lot lately.
Hey.
It's very random because you go with the
I love
0.1. You could have given it 4.6 or something.
No, I love
No.
this movie.
4.5. It ain't. I mean, obviously it's not a 5. It's not a perfect movie. It's not Casablanca or anything like that. But man, this is a good movie.
Yeah.
It keeps your attention. I'm on the edge of it. It's the second time I saw it. I'm still on the edge of my seat. Like, holy crap, this movie is just fantastic.
There were no lulls in this movie.
No.
To where you were bored.
Just keeps going.
Yeah. It was great.
And I got to give a special shout out to Matthew Fox. I love his brooder character in this movie.
Yeah.
He's an asshole in this movie, but he's the one character in here that really, he knows what they're up against.
Yeah.
He's the one that kind of tells him, hey, this ain't a joke.
Yeah,
you're
you think
going
he's
to deal
being-
with something.
You think he's being a jerk,
Yeah.
but he's actually
He's
telling
right.
them what's going
Yeah.
to happen.
He's right.
Yeah.
No doubt. And yeah, Matthew Fox, I don't see him in a lot
Yeah.
lately. Since Lost, basically, he's been in a few
Yeah.
things. Like Vantage Point, I think was a movie he did.
Yeah, Marshall.
Which was okay. We Are Marshall, great movie as well. But yeah, Matthew Fox is great in this movie. And Kurt Russell is fantastic. Kurt Russell is so good in this. It's like a great role for him. Love it.
Yep.
Him in Westerns is, I could watch it all day, to be honest.
It's natural for him.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah.
All right, that's all all I got. Anything else?
No, that's it.
All right.
Wrap it up.
Thanks for watching Basement Movie Room. We'll see you next time.
Cheers.
Got your beer this time.
This time.
Later.
Don't be scared. I am a friend.
You aren't.
Damn you!
You had no cause.
If you want to question my morals, do it later.